Thank you. You make me feel good. I was like, what you talking about? What I was doing, I'm listening. Now I'm gonna put this because I'm live, but it's just on me. Just because I like to record stuff and put it on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I ain't stepping on the rug. Well, she said who I am. My name is Nikita Watley. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Rebought 1992. Gosh, 50 next month. I mean, I'll be 50 next month. I'm like, gosh, I can't believe it. Thank you. I feel like I'm about 38, but I couldn't be because my daughter's 32. But anyway, what I want to do is, I'm trying to put this glove back on, y'all. I'm sorry. That's backwards. Okay. A little bit about my story. That's why I want to talk about bankruptcy. Because our finances will keep us in bondage. And you know, life happens, and the government actually expects that life happens. You can't think that they just came up with bankruptcy for no reason and nobody uses it. It's just very underutilized in our community, because many times in our community we think, hey, I'm just going to pay that bill and I'm going to hold on to it and I'm going to pay it and I'm going to figure it out, and now I'm trying to pay my credit card, but I can't take the kids to Disney, I can't afford life insurance, I can't buy a house because I'm burdened down with all of this stuff. And I just like to let people know bankruptcy is an option. Back in 2001, I started in mortgages. So I was a mortgage underwriter, I've been a processor, a closer, funder, all of that. And when I would see these loans come across my desk, and I get the appraisals, I get everything, and I'm like, these people have nice houses. And I would say bankruptcy's on their credit. And the bankruptcy was them starting over, and now they're in these nice houses, and they're thriving, and they're doing their thing. And that's what taught me about bankruptcy. So fast forward a couple of years later, I get married, family, all of that kind of stuff. Eventually, me and my husband go through divorce. Now, when we went through the divorce, I had so many bills that we put together. And bankruptcy was just, I went back to thinking about all of that stuff. And with those bills, I was overwhelmed. First of all, I'm hurt from the divorce. I feel like a failure because now I'm getting a divorce. You thinking you get married, you're going to be married forever. So number one, I'm upset because I'm getting a divorce. I'm hurting because I so many bills. Now it's two people worth of bills. And I'm just in a bad spot for a little while. And then what it did on me one day, it dawned on me. I ended up filing bankruptcy and all of that stuff. I moved back into my mom's home, lived back in the old room that I grew up in. And you got to think, you got to think I'm 40 years old. I'm sitting up here and I'm 40, overwhelmed with debt, divorced, had 3 homes, have no home. I'm back at my mama's house on Palmdale in that little room, and I was just overwhelmed. And then one day God said, he said, I'm giving you a chance to start over at 40, like a 20-year-old though. So you have 40 years worth of wisdom and knowledge and experience, but I'm allowing you to start over like somebody who just graduated college. And that's when I said, you know what? I can file that bankruptcy. I filed that bankruptcy. I can start this cleaning business. I can work during the day. So I'm working as an underwriter at Bank of America during the day. I'm going cleaning houses at night. Because I filed the bankruptcy, now all that debt is off of me. So now I'm living in that room, but I don't have all that debt anymore, and my bills drop. He said, take this here and you knock it out the park. Because I'm giving you an opportunity that's once in a lifetime, really. And that bankruptcy helped me so much. And I'll see so many of my friends going through things. And I was like, have you thought about the option? Not that you have to utilize it, but think about the option. We'll have so much. And then you got to think about it like this. Why does the government allow you to file bankruptcy every 8 years? They kind of foresee that things change in 8 years. Think about it. Because you can think about yourself 8 years ago, 10 years ago. And then you start living life, accumulating things, doing things. Now the jobs change. The economy has definitely changed since 2020. I purchased my house back in 2019. And when I purchased that house, I have like a 2.65 interest rate. I bought that house at $99,000. My mortgage is like $700. You can't even buy a house right now at $99,000. And then the interest rates are like 5 and 6 and 7%. So think about how much the economy has changed in just those 4 short years. Think about the credit cards you had in 2020, the interest rate, and that same credit card now you're trying to pay it off, and the interest rate just don't went up. They expect that things happen. And sometimes that gives us a reprieve. And if you have it and you don't have like a lot of debt, let's just say you have one credit card and it's just kind of overwhelming, you can probably talk to them and work that out. But let's just say you have a lot going on. You have credit cards, you got car notes, you have stuff going on with your kids, you have a lot of things. Bankruptcy could truly help us. You have some dreams and goals, but because you're so financially bonded with those debts, you can't even work that. You can't start that entrepreneurial journey because you're trying to work 2 jobs just to pay off all of these people. You can't pay all these people off and try to buy that house. Eventually, we want to purchase a home so that we can start. Black people, generational wealth is basically started home ownership and life insurance. Usually, if you don't own a home, you're not letting somebody take money out your bank account on a life insurance policy. What's going on over there? Anyway, so you have to think about that. And we'll be financially bonded by debt and never get to buy that house. Never get to get that life insurance policy. And now we're not creating any type of wealth for our families because we're overwhelmed or we just don't know how. And like with bankruptcy, they have 2 chapters. They have chapter 7 and chapter 13. They have business bankruptcy, but that's totally different. Chapter 7 and chapter 13. Chapter 7, if you file it and you fall below certain incomes, you might be able to file that thing, and then in 6 months, it's discharged. Now that means you started over, fresh, from scratch. All your stuff is gone. They do give you the option in a 7 to keep your house and your car. But me personally, if you have a car note and you have another form of transportation, let that car go. Get a whole other car because cars depreciate in value anyway. So why keep a car that's going to depreciate? But they give you the option to keep your house and your car and discharge everything. So that means within 6 months you can start over fresh and get out of that. Now you can start strategizing every single thing you do. When I had to start over, I started living my life on a strategy. And many of us, we do not live strategic. We just kind of going by trying to make stuff happen, and we finding out that we're just running all over the place and not making any progress. One of my things that I have written down on my board, like I have a big dry erase board in my home. I have powerful women thrive, strong women survive. I don't want to be a strong woman. I don't want to just be out there surviving. I want to thrive. I want to be happy. And many times we're not thriving simply because we're burdened with so much. And now the emotional thing you have to work on your own. But the financial thing, it might be something so easy as filing bankruptcy or seeking credit counseling. Because I'm going to tell y'all first what I did. I sought credit counseling. But I had so much stuff that it was like, I would have did this credit counseling thing, and it would have took me about 5 years to pay off all that stuff. I can't do anything for 5 years. Like, they freeze all your credit cards, they have you pay them, and then they dish out their little money. I can't do anything for like 5 years trying to pay these people off. No. I just take and file bankruptcy and be done with all of that. And now I get to start over fresh. So that's how I was able to start Kitty's Custom Cleaning. Had I not filed it, had I not even had a divorce. Let's just go back to the divorce. Let's just go back to the marriage. I'm not saying that my ex-husband was bad, because he was not. It was just irreconcilable. You know, what they call it, differences. Okay. But had I stayed with him, I would have stayed at Bank of America. I would have stayed in that situation. I would have stayed in what everybody on paper thought was good. So on paper, it would look good that you've been an underwriter for so long for this company. You've been married so long. Y'all live in that house. Now the kids have gotten grown and all of this. It looked good. But I would have never found me. I would have never been Kitty. I would have never known that I even had this entrepreneurial thing inside of me. It took me going through the divorce and sitting at my desk one day and saying, Lord, this is not it. What do you want me to do? Is something else you want me to do? And I didn't want to leave Bank of America and go to another company, because I'll be doing the same thing. It was just me figuring out what was going on with myself, and that season was over. And I didn't know that the divorce and the bankruptcy and leaving that job helped me find my new season. And now that I'm in my new season, I am thriving. I'm like the happiest I have ever been in my life. But I'm going to take it back. Last November, I went through a slump. And I don't know what it was, but I had to work it out with my sister, me and her. And I was telling her and my youngest sister, telling Tracy and then I was like, I got to the point I was just done with it all. But what I figured out it was, I had to actually just go through my businesses, and we have to do this with our lives. Go through my businesses and figure out what's working, what needs to be changed, what can I give to somebody else to handle, what can I let go, what business is not thriving. We have to go through our lives, and we have to pull and figure out what's not working. Figure out what I can maybe subcontract to somebody, do something for somebody. You know, I had to work it out with my businesses. And once I did that, it relieved so much off of me that it put me into a good season, a really good season. And I wasn't always there. And now that I'm there, I want other women to feel that. I want other women to feel that happiness. Like today when I leave here, I'm going to leave, I'm going to go see my grandbaby Cheer for a minute, then I'm going to get in my Jeep, let the top back, and I'm going to ride down Heckscher Drive, and I'm going to go to my family reunion at the beach. That kind of freedom of just living. And you will never think that something like a bankruptcy might get you there. You think about how burdened you are. We're going to have regular burdens like with our kids and things like that. But just imagine if the finances were off for you. And just imagine if you took whatever you were good at and started working on it as a business. Me personally, I started off as a cleaning service. Do you know how basic that is? It was so basic that I didn't even think about it as a business. We'll have a skill that I believe that everybody God gives everybody something. And we'll have a skill that's so basic that we don't even think about monopolizing off of. It took a guy to tell me, hey, how about I pay you to clean my house? You do it so well. What? Okay, you do that. And then I'm working during the day, and I started just telling people that I clean houses. And then that money started coming in at night and on the weekend. And remember, it's tax-free. Because when you work for yourself, you pay your taxes, once a year, or you set up a payment plan with the IRS. So now, every time I do a job, I get paid immediately. At the bank, I got to wait 2 weeks. They got to take insurance. They got to take taxes. They got to take Social Security. So I'm waiting on that money. But this money right here is coming. immediately. So think about, what I want everybody to do is think about something that you just have that's so natural that you don't even think about it. Like, let's just say at your church, you're the person that organizes the fish fry. If you organize the fish fry, that means I got to say who gonna buy the oil, who gonna cook the fish, who gonna do the potato salad. I don't want her to do it because her potato salad not that good. I'm gonna let you do it. But all this stuff, that's event planning. And you might be so good at it that you don't even realize you can actually get paid from it. And like Michelle said, you make cakes. You might make cakes so naturally, and you donate them to the church for the fish fry. Well, you might be able to sell those same cakes. You might can go to work during the day and do that entrepreneurial thing at night. What I find that a lot of people do, including myself at one point, we're so bogged down with our life that when we get off, we don't want to do nothing. We complain about the job because we don't like it. We don't like it. We don't want to do it. We hate getting up there and going every morning. But when we get off work, we go and sit and watch Netflix. We don't do anything for ourselves. We give those people 100% of ourselves. And we leave nothing. We take nothing for ourselves. And you almost feel guilty. Now when I tell people to do it like this, sometimes they start feeling guilty for it. Because it's like, you don't put nothing back into yourself. You give everybody, but you put nothing back in. What are we creating for? What are your, like, I look at it like this. Whatever I do, my daughters and my granddaughters are watching. So if I live a little mediocre, never really stepping out my box, never really working out through fear, that's what I'm teaching. That's what I'm showing them. And if you're the CEO of your last name, whether it's good or bad, or mediocre, it's up to you. And I say, if I don't, then who will? If I don't consider it important, who will? If I don't work through my fears and say, okay, I got to do this. If I don't, sometimes I don't want to be bothered with certain things. But if I don't, who will? And one thing I found with entrepreneur that I did not know, and had I known, I probably wouldn't have done it, and thank God I didn't, is it's one of the biggest self-development programs that you will ever have. But it's great. Because I'm telling y'all, now sometimes I get out of my bed, it's a Wednesday, I get out of bed at 9 in the morning. And it's an easy get up. It's not like an alarm clock get up. It's a nice life. It's nice. And I'm not saying it always is and always will be, but we control how our lives look. And mine I just found through entrepreneurship. But remember, back it up. That bankruptcy liberated. And if you have, like, I have an attorney that I refer people to, and he does a consultation, it's $150. And you sit there and you tell that man every single thing you have going on. I've had 3 friends that within the past 2 months that went to that man and set up a payment plan to file a bankruptcy. And I'm not saying that, he'll tell you if it works for you or not. Because he'll look at your stuff and say, hell, all you have is this $2,000 credit card. You probably can work something out with it. But if you have overwhelming debt, you have a lot going on, and you know that you want to buy that house, and it's the debt that's keeping you from buying the house, I say file that thing, let it go. Because it takes 2 years once you buy it, once it's discharged. Remember I said if you do a 7, it's discharged within like 6 months or so. 2 years after you can purchase your home. When you purchase your home, now you're setting your family up. And I'm glad it does take 2 years, because you really have to really be responsible and learn how to do your finances and things really good to get to that point where you want to buy a house. Because now you have to be really disciplined, because you have to, put your home shield on there, do just a bunch of those stuff. But anyway, it could change the trajectory of your life and your family's lives. And filing that thing truly changed the trajectory. Like when I started, it was just Kitty's Custom Cleaning. And then when I did it, my brother, who was working as maintenance, he decided to leave his job and start the lawn care. So he watched me and said, hey, I can do that. And he started Kitty's Custom Cuts. And then my sister Dion graduated from BAM, and she was just working as a substitute teacher. And so she started helping me with the cleaning business. Now she's the one that actually really runs the cleaning business. I'm still Kitty's Custom Cleaning. I sign the checks, but she does the payroll, hiring, everything. That's really Dion. And then my sister Tracy, she was at Bank of America with me. Now she's a full-time entrepreneur. So now all of us are full-time entrepreneurs from me taking that leap of faith and me getting from under that burden of debt. Had I stayed under that burden of debt, I've been still sitting at that desk underwriting them loans. Oh, look, I can't even imagine it, y'all. I just can't imagine it. It kind of makes me sick to my stomach to think about it. But that's what, I was going to talk about something totally different. But I started hearing people about income and finances and debt and things like that. And I just wanted to put that out there to our community. Many of us have a stigma. Well, I don't want to file bankruptcy because this. You got the money now.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing now. So you're going to always just stay burdened and not be able to do what's best for your family. And I'll tell y'all what I told my family. I said, from that point back then on out, I'm going to file one every 8 to 10 years. I will not leave anybody with any debt. So that means I'm going to get credit cards and I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to pay them back and I'm that. And then 8 to 10 years later, I'm going to wipe that out. Then I'm going to restart again. And I'm going to do my thing, and we're going to go to Disney, and we're going to buy that property. We're going to do what we need to do with stuff. We're going to progress. Then 8 to 10 years later, I'm filing it again. It's not illegal. You got to just think about it like that. Y'all, I'm a really out-of-the-box thinker. I really am. But I'm going to do it every 8 to 10 years. I'm going to be fresh. Every 8 to 10 years, fresh. I'm not leaving anybody with anything. Anything I leave is going to be an asset. I'm not leaving anybody with liabilities at all. I'm taking that whole burden off my family. And I got that from an 80-year-old woman. She did that. And she was talking about it. I was like, that makes complete sense. She was saying how every 8 to 10 years she files and wipes everything clean. But yet, when you file, remember you get to start off as a baby. So now, everybody's offering you credit cards. And now you have it where you can go purchase real estate. Now you can take, and because the credit card is offered, you can go buy whole life insurance policies. You can get policies for all your grandkids. You can get good policies on you so that your grandkids will have income from you. And then you can get policies on them. And if you get life insurance policies on little kids, by the time they get older, they can borrow off those life insurance policies. And now they can take, and you can help them put down payments on their homes. Being financially free. Sound makes you think of things like that. Imagine if somebody said, hey, I'm going to give you $10,000. Now you can put that towards your down payment on your house. How many more people would be homeowners? So if you can buy policies on these little kids, and then they get older, and they get out of the military, or they graduate college or something, and you can help them financially, why wouldn't we? We're just so used to, in our community, not doing it, that it's become normal. And we just don't know how to do it. And those are different ways. And remember I said, black people, most of our generational wealth is started through home ownership and life insurance policies. Imagine if, like when my dad passed, He had a couple of $10,000 policies, and it did help bury him and pay off some stuff. But imagine if when he died, he had like a $500,000 policy. Imagine how much that would have affected our family. But if you're not financially sound, you're not the one to let Primerica pull a $300 withdrawal out of your account every 15th of the month to pay for a $500,000 policy. You get what I'm saying? So it's just about getting our financial freedom. And that's one reason that I stress entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a way to control your future. It's a way that you can decide every single thing. Like, if, let's just say, when I go to Jamaica next month, I don't have to ask anybody for a certain day off. I just hope I move stuff around. Last week, I went to see Kamala Harris in Savannah. They announced that thing. They put a text message out there Tuesday night where you had to sign up. If I was working for somebody, I couldn't have took off for Thursday. They put it out there Tuesday night. So that means I had to get to work on Wednesday to ask for the next day off. So then that allowed me to be able to do that. That allowed me to see a piece of history. Think about it. My mom went, me and my sister went, my daughter went, and my granddaughter. Me and my sister are entrepreneurs. My daughter's an entrepreneur. She has her own hair salon. So she moved them clients around, and we even took my granddaughter. It allowed 4 generations of my family to go and see the first black female presidential nominee together. That was a memory that will not, for us, ever be duplicated. And it was because we had the freedom to stick and move as we please. But had we had to ask permission, we wouldn't have been able to do it, because they put it out there on Tuesday. They didn't even tell you where it was until you got down the road. We were headed to Savannah. It was about 12 o'clock when they finally told you exactly where it was. So you just had to get in your car and be prepared and start driving to Savannah. You know it's going to be somewhere, but you just headed to Savannah. And with that being said, the car that we drove was one of our rental cars. We have a Honda Odyssey. Tracy blacked it out real fast so no one could rent it. So we was able to ask 4 generations of Watley women, go see her, go up to the car wash. My brother cleaned it, jumped in the Honda Odyssey, and headed to Savannah to see first black female presidential nominee speak. And that's why I said, if you think about it, I took that thing so far when it came to entrepreneurship. But what it did, look at it. It's something that many people didn't experience just because they just didn't have the freedom to. It's something that back in 2015, I wouldn't have been able to do, because I would have been at Bank of America. You not finna ask to be off on a Wednesday to ask to be off on Thursday. They would have looked at me and kicked that thing right back and just said, she must be crazy. But I was able to determine my future. I was able to make memories simply because I control what I do. You know what I mean? So that's one reason that I stress entrepreneurship. Now, I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I do say always have something to be able to earn some income. Find something that you can do to be able to earn some type of income outside your job. Like, let me tell you, I do massage. So I wanted to go on a trip to Jamaica next August. And I was like, dang, I need my deposit money because these rooms selling out real fast. So I put it out there on Facebook, because I do it, and I have a spot in my daughter's salon. Put it out there real fast, and a couple of people made an appointment. That appointment paid for my deposit. Those appointments paid for my deposit real fast, because I was able to say, okay, I need to make some money real fast, and I, you know, my budget tight over here, and it's tight there, and I really don't have the deposit money. But I was able to find a way to make some money to pay the deposit for the trip to Jamaica. And it's always good to have a way to earn income. So find something that you do that could help somebody. Provide a service, find a need. If somebody got a need, see if you can help it. And then sometimes we get into a bind where we are tight with our money and we have something come up unexpected. If you have this trick in your bag that you have, and you can put it out there to people and get some money real fast.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, oh, shoot, let me do a special on these cakes real fast. I might can make this, and this. You know what? Let me do a special on this. Let me put this out there to see if maybe I can make, earn this income right quick to pay this bill, or do this deposit, or take this trip, or whatever. That's entrepreneurship. So I'm not saying you have to do it full time, but find a way. Like my daddy always said. He said a man should always have a way to make money outside of his job. And if a man don't have a way to make money outside his job, don't talk to him. He should know how to do something. That's my daddy saying a man should know how to do something and have a way to make some money, because times will come that you need something fast. He should know how to cut grass or fix something or help somebody with something so that he can earn some income. And he said that for men. But for women, we should have the same thing. We should have a way where we're not sitting there and can't make no money. Or we thinking of our husband as the second income source. Many of us get into relationships we don't want to be in simply because we don't have no money or we broke. We dating who we need versus dating who we want because we haven't figured out a way to earn us some income. Now we done created a whole family with somebody who we really didn't want to be with, or created all these bills with somebody we really didn't want to be with, simply because we was looking at him as our income source instead of finding a way to be your second income source. Think about that. And I'm not talking about what I heard, I'm talking about what I did before. You get what I'm saying? Well, Mike got money and he'll always do and this and this and this. So you over there with Mike, but you really like Bob. But if your money was right, you could just be with Bob. Bob may not have it like that, but if your money right, you ain't really digging in his pockets like that. And because you like him because you like him. You like Mike because Mike got some money. If he had no money, you won't be talking to Mike.
That's right.
All because you haven't figured out a way to earn you some income outside your job. You haven't figured out how to be resourceful outside your job. And like when it comes to my sister, my sister Tracy's a full-time entrepreneur. She has a master's degree. Dion, the one that runs the Kitty's Custom Cleaning, she has a master's degree. My daughter that has her own kitty braid salon, she has a degree from FAM. All three of them graduated from FAM. Tracy and Dion just have master's degrees. So they have master's degrees, and Monique has a college degree. And they're not even using it. Not that they downplay the degree at all, but they're doing entrepreneurship. Monique does kids braid. She only do ages 2 to 12. But she has a full degree from FAM. Dion runs Kitty's Custom Cleaning and her other businesses, and she has a master's degree. Tracy does our Airbnbs and Jahan Watley Interiors, and she has a master's degree. And they're doing entrepreneurship. Many times when we go to college, and this is something real special, they're just grooming us to be able to work for somebody. And now I'm not down in college at all, because I'm not. I'm like 6 classes from a degree that I was going back for a while. I had like, it's about 8 classes before I could get my bachelor's. But I just don't feel like doing the work. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't want to do the work. It don't do me no good to have a degree, because I'm not gonna go get a job. All it's gonna do is. So this just me. I'm not doing it. I don't feel like it, and it's not. It's kind of pointless. I'll be paying for a degree that's actually pointless at that point. It'll be good to say you have, but that's just say you have. But anyway, many of those degrees groom us for working for somebody. It's your trade. It's your gift that gives you your freedom. It's your gift that gets you paid immediately. It's your gift that gets you a business bank account and do all your income and expenses out that bank account, and then to hire a CPA or somebody to do your taxes to figure out how not to pay taxes on that money. Versus when you go to somebody's job, you make your money, they take their part, and you live off the rest. With your entrepreneur money, you make your money, you spend your money, you hire somebody to not have to pay so much in taxes, to figure out what you need to do to not have to pay the government so long. And then you pretty near go 2 years without paying. You got to think about it. 2023, I filed an extension. So I have to file October 15th, 2024. So that means all 2023 I didn't pay. All 2024 I hadn't paid. Now, okay, October, you're going to go through George Spencer, my CPA, figure it out, and see what we need to do and how it's going to work. And then I set up a payment plan with the IRS. That's simple. So I was able to make my money, spend my money, and then figure it out versus make my money and then they taking parts of it. You think wealthy people ever let somebody take their money before they see their money? Not. Okay. I'm sorry. It's time. Oh. Okay. Well, what I want everybody to do, if you will go on YouTube, subscribe to my page, Rising CEO Academy. I am going to be I'm setting it up now. I'm going to be doing entrepreneurs in Jacksonville, local entrepreneurs. So I will have that on my page. And I'll be airing those shows every 2 weeks. Find me on Facebook, Rising CEO Academy. And I'm going to give everybody one of my cards. I do weekly mentorships via Zoom call. We do weekly group sessions where we go in and talk about entrepreneurship and personal development. We have business book club where we read books and then we come back and talk about them. If that's something that interests you, I would like you all to sign. I have a sign-up sheet right there. Sign up and I'll call and I can talk with you about it one-on-one. It's only $97 a month. So it's a $97 a month mentorship program, and it's Rising CEO Academy. I have the QR code and everything on my card, but we just meet, and every Thursday at 7 p.m. I send a Zoom link out. I have a private Facebook page where I post a lot of information. Right now what I've done for my mentees is I went to a city council meeting about a month ago, and it was in detail about loans for small business owners. So I walk all my entrepreneurs, everybody that's in my academy, it's through the city of Jacksonville. I walk them step by step how to apply for those particular loans through the city of Jacksonville so that they can apply and try to get that grant money and those loans that the city is offering. The city has they allocated $1 million to small businesses. And why I did it for those people is because I know that they're serious. They're so serious enough that they signed up for mentorship, and they're in my group. So what I did is walk them through the full application process and walk them through the full JSEL, Jacksonville Small Emerging Businesses process, so that they can get qualified for those type of loans that the city offer and contracts through the city. And I did that with my mentorship, Rising CEO Academy. So I thank you all for allowing me to speak. I hope that it helped someone, inspired you to pull that thing out of you, to find a way to make some money on your own, outside of a job. Sometimes we'll think, I'm going to go get a second job. Time is so limited. You wear yourself out trying to get a second job, putting a week in the hole, then wait 2 weeks to get the check. It's just a lot when you can simply just maybe babysit somebody's kids and bake some cakes or something. Just food for thought. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kitty. You know, I know Kitty said a lot, she talked about a lot, but I'm telling you all, if you got something, if you need to start you something and get you a source going, get her information. Kitty will talk to you. She won't put you off on nobody else.
No.
And if anybody can help you, you have my word that she can help you get a business up off the ground and make it a thriving situation. Okay, so we did that. We got our bag together, and so now Paul Lawrence Dunbar says we all wear masks, and so we're going to take our mask off. And I brought somebody very special who, to me, is very unashamed of who God has called her to be and her purpose in kingdom. And that's